We promised to join you in last Tuesday's protest, and true to our words we did, and the results were loud and clear. We hereby thank all Kenyans who took part in the struggle and call upon the majority who remained at home to join us this week again. We promise again that this week's protests to occupy everywhere will be bigger than Ruto's ego. Ruto has conceded to our demands and dismissed the finance bill. Well and good, but we are not fools. A tomato that says it is an orange is still a tomato. We press on. In response to Ruto's threatening statements to the people of Kenya, our resolve has only grown stronger and is spreading wider than the gospel. Ruto's response does not depict that of a leader or a statesman, but that of a war criminal. You cannot declare war against 50 million Kenyans. We will defeat you. Usituuzie uoga. Deploying the military on us will not scare or stop millions of youths from taking back their country. We defeated the police. The military do not have tear gas or water cannons, and they cannot shoot at unarmed civilians. The KDF will be marching with us, as witnessed last Thursday. No police will dare throw tear gas canisters at us while accompanied by our big brothers. When the music changes, so does the dance. Kenyans, the military are always for the people and not oppressive regimes. They are with you. Come out in large numbers once again. Occupy everywhere on Tuesday and Thursday. Therefore, Mr. Ruto, we repeat again. Tell your family to pack their clothes, utensils, and electronics and fly yonder while the going is good. You are not our leader.
Yes, so the message is clear. Those who have ears must listen, and those who have eyes must try to see, so that they will be able to tell future generations that there was a time that the new colonial project, the new colonial arrangement, the new colonial criminals were coming, and the people of the youth of Kenya stood up against them. Yes, those who have ears, those who have eyes must live to tell the rest of future generations what the youth of Kenya, the revolution that the youth of Kenya started. Because this is not going to stop only in Kenya, because the aluta must continue.
Aluta continua. Aluta continua. Contra o quê?
Against what? Against what must the struggle continue?
Contra o tribalismo.
Against tribalism.
A luta continua.
And what else must we struggle against?
Contra a ignorância.
Against ignorance.
Contra o analfabetismo.
Against illiteracy.
Contra a exploração do homem pelo homem.
Against exploitation.
Contra a superstição.
Against superstition.
Contra a miséria.
Against misery.
Contra a fome.
Against
Contra
hunger.
o pé descalço.
Against lack of clothing.
A luta continua.
The struggle continues.
Para que sejamos todos homens iguais.
Yes, the aluta must continue. The aluta must continue against poverty. The aluta must continue against tribalism. This time around, no African leader can use our so-called tribal differences to divide and continue to rule us. Because we have grown up, or we have grown wise enough to realize that even though with all our tribal differences, we all speak the same language, and that is the language of subjugation. That is the language of suffering. That is the language of dehumanization. Everywhere we find ourselves in the world, they don't care which tribe you are coming from. We still being disrespected because we are coming from the continent of Africa. And today we said enough is enough. We are sick and tired of that. What is it that we are asking? What is it that we are asking from our leaders that they cannot give to us? What is it that we are asking from our leaders that is so difficult for them, to the extent that when we come out to demonstrate, to ask them for that, some of us have to be gunned down before they can listen to us? What is it? Because the new colonial criminals, when they left, when we were kicking them out, they never want to leave. When our ancestors were kicking them out, they left what they call the police force. Today, they don't have police force in their country. They have police service. But we're still holding on to that old colonial project called police force, because that is what they used to do to our ancestors when our ancestors were demanding for their independence. When you come out to demonstrate and demand for your independence, the so-called police force, they will gun you down, and they left that legacy, and we're still using it. We are demanding that to be changed. We need a new Africa where no child will go to bed with an empty stomach. What is it that we are calling, or what is it that we are asking that our leaders cannot give us? Is it that a child should not go to bed with an empty stomach? Is it that is that what our leaders cannot afford us? Quality housing, is that what our leaders cannot give to us? A borderless Africa, is that too much for our leaders to give to us? A borderless Africa, one passport, is that one too much for you guys to give to us? We don't want no foreign military bases in Africa. We are calling on you, our leaders, to stop that. Is that one too much for you guys to give to us? How come we don't have an African military base in Britain? We don't have an African military base in Europe. We don't have African military base in America. Whilst every country have a military base in Africa. And we are calling on our leaders. We say enough is enough. We don't want this. Is that one too hard for you guys to give to us? What is it that we are asking? We, the children of Africa, are asking that is too much, that you guys cannot give to us, because somebody is sitting somewhere in New York, in London, and telling you not to agree, and telling you that when we come out, gun us down. The other day when the youth of Nigeria came out, they gunned them down because they know by shooting, or by unaliving 15 or 20 of the youth, the rest of us will run home. No, enough is enough. Because we are not asking too much, as I said. And what we are asking you to give to us, if it is too much for you people, why are you giving yourself that privilege? We are saying, give us a borderless Africa, so that we, the children of Africa, can also travel around Africa and explore the continent of Africa. Is that one too much for you people? You are giving you and your ministers, every country, wherever you are watching me from. Tell me, in your country, the president and his family, the ministers and their family, don't they have the privilege to travel around Africa? Do they require visas to travel around Africa? No. So why are we not given the same privilege? Because in Europe, that is what they do for their citizens. In Europe, the president or whatever prime minister can travel around Europe freely. A common citizen can also do the same thing. What is it that is too much, so hard for African leaders to listen to us and give us that privilege? I keep saying it here, because we are here for the unification of Africa, one Africa mission. That is our mission. And I keep saying it. The reason why we don't appreciate the continent of Africa is because we don't have the privilege to travel around the continent of Africa. So when you are in Madagascar, you don't know what is happening in Ghana. When you are in Ghana, you don't know what is happening in Mozambique. When you are in Mozambique, you don't know what is happening in Seychelles. But if we had the opportunity, if you are in Seychelles, you don't know what is happening in Ethiopia. If you are in Ethiopia, you don't know what is happening in Togo, in Burkina Faso, in Morocco, whatever. But like we have the opportunity to also travel around our continent and explore the continent, we will appreciate what Mother Nature has given to us, the beautiful continent that God has given to us. Is that one too much, too hard for our leaders to give us that privilege? And when we call on you people to give us that, you are gunning us down. No more. We say enough is enough. And any African leader who is not ready to listen to us, then you better get out of our way. Get the hell out of our way, because we are serious. We are sick and tired of being disrespected. For an African to live a dignified life, for a young African to also have the opportunity to travel around the world, he has to, first of all, leave Africa, to travel to America, to travel to Europe, and become a slave. And I said it the last time, if he is a good slave, then the European colonial criminals will now recognize him and give him a book that is called a piece of paper that is called passport. And if you are holding a European passport, American passport, then you have the privilege to travel around the world. And we said to our leaders, why can't you also give us that opportunity, that privilege? Open up our borders. But you have the guts to open your borders for America, for Britain. Yet, we the citizens of Africa, you will not open the borders for us to also travel around? And is that too much for you people to give us? Is it too much for you people to give us a better housing? Is it too much for you people to give us quality education? The other day, a young African was saying that to have a European passport is better than having a PhD holder in Africa. Having a European passport is better than having being a PhD holder in Africa, because what the European passport, the privileges the European passport will give you, a PhD holder in Africa will not have that. And then we said our leaders give us that better, dignified life. We don't want to see our people running out of Africa to have dignity. That is all that we are saying. Is that one too much for you people? Is that one too much for you people to give us? And then when it is election time, you come and you promise us heaven and heaven on earth. You promise us everything. And then after elections, you go and then doing otherwise. And then when we talk, you said, oh, it was just a political talk. We don't want no more political talk anymore. If you promise us something, you must give us that. We will demand for that, because we know what the continent God has given. We know the kind of continent God has given to us. We know. That is why they call our continent Mother Africa. It has everything to nurture us. And yet, our leaders will not realize this. But as I said, what you people are denying us, you are giving to yourselves. You are giving to yourselves. And then now we are saying, think outside the box. It is not about going to Africa-China summit, Africa-Afghanistan summit, Africa-Syria summit, Africa-India summit. We don't want that anymore. And then this generation of Africans, we will not take anything less than what we deserve. So yes, the message is clear. The aluta will continue until we see a united, better Africa. The children of Africa are sick and tired of the kind of Africa that we are having today. And as I said, we cannot blame our forefathers for the Africa that we inherited from them. They didn't know better. Today we know better. Today, if you kill 10 of us, 100 of us will show up again. So thinking that using your police force can intimidate us, will call us to our shells. No, enough is enough. We demand a better Africa, so that future generations can also travel around the world with dignity. Today, as we speak, Africans all over the world, no matter where you found yourself, you will not be respected. Why? Why? African, you've asked yourself, why? Do you think you deserve the kind of life you are living? If not, then stand up and join the people of Kenya. Don't say, if you are in Kenya, don't say, I'm a foreigner in Kenya. You are an African. And whatever is happening in Kenya, as long as you are there, join the demonstration. If you are in Ghana, you are in Togo, you are in Burkina Faso. For Burkina Faso, we don't need even demonstration anymore, because we have the kind of quality leadership that we want. So that is good. You are in Nigeria, wherever you found yourself, when they are doing demonstration, join it. It is an African demonstration. Somebody was asking me if I'm a Kenyan. Yes, I'm a Kenyan. You can see. I'm a Kenyan just as I'm a Nigerian. I'm a Nigerian just as I'm a South African. I'm a South African just as I'm a Namibian. I'm a Namibian just as I'm a Ghanaian. I'm a Ghanaian just as I'm a Mozambican. I'm a Mozambican just as I'm a Madagascar. I'm an African, and the continent of Africa. Or I can only have a better life when the continent, a respectful life, when the continent of Africa, a dignified life when the continent of Africa is respected. Thank you very much for coming around. I am your missionary brother. Please, if you haven't joined our mission is all about the unification of the African continent and the dignity of our race. So please, if you haven't joined our mission yet, please take time out of your busy schedules and support us, because we intend to go into evangelism, as we keep saying, the entire continent of Africa. That is our mission, to go into evangelism and preach the gospel of unity and dignity to our youth. Let us all together fight for a united, better Africa. We cannot continue to blame the Western colonial criminals for what we are doing to ourselves. Rise up, the youth of Africa. Africa has enough for all of us to enjoy and live a better, dignified life. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, One Africa Mission. On TikTok, One Africa Mission. We are on missionaries. We are on a mission until we get Satan and the Western criminals out of Africa. I thank you very much.